So, major changes happening over with Disney controlling some of their, video game IPs. Marvel, obviously, they took back all the licenses and now they're licensing out characters and seeing what fits best where. We just got the news last week. Hey, Lucasfilm's games and EA, you know how you bombed with that license that prints money? Yeah, Ubisoft, they're making games. We're looking at other partners to make games now. So long, goodbye. Like, it's
not quite goodbye because they're still making games.
yeah, but they're just not exclusive anymore. So that giant money deal that exchanged hands before, that's over.
Which I think for everyone's good because it takes a bit of pressure off the poor EA developers that have to know that they work for EA.
Yeah,
because that's got to be like horrendous knowing that. We still get all the Fallen Order stuff, which is great. EA can stick to the multiplayer, like Battlefront, your squadrons. Stick to that. Single player stuff outside of Fallen Order, yeah, can go to someone else. Would Ubisoft have been my first go-to? No.
I mean, especially the developers of The Division. Like, it's an interesting pick. Like, I think they're a very talented, solid, good team. They understand like the engine they built and it runs flawlessly on all the consoles. Like it looks good, but
are we talking about the same Ubisoft here?
Like yes, like no, right? Like I play The Division, like not religiously. I play it every couple months. I'll pop it in. I'll do a little bit more for like a day or two.
The first one was buggy as hell.
By the end of it, it got much better. Like they figured out the kinks and everything because it was the first time they used their own engine, which I think is. I want to say it was a Snowdrop engine, something like that.
Yeah, Snowdrop, Snowflake.
I have friends that work at Ubisoft, so
I get it. It's got snow in the game. Snowdrop.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, they're like, look, we're gonna partner with a bunch of other companies, Lucasfilm's games. Here's Indiana Jones from, like what is it, Massive? I think. Who does?
I can't remember.
Yeah, Machine Games. It's Machine Games. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Machine Games, who's doing they do the Wolfenstein games, like they're doing that. And then on top of that, I think it was Greg Miller that asked Neil Druckmann, what would you like to do for Marvel games? And he was like, Punisher and Ghost Rider. And it's like, yeah, Punisher I think is, honestly, I don't understand how that's not a video game IP that just prints money. It's tailor-made for video games. Like, the old Punisher video game worked.
It's very much like the idea is there for video games, but it's such a mundane idea. No one has a good idea for a Punisher game. People can see straight through it.
I think that is one of the problems, and as a Punisher fan, I can admit that and go, that is something that is kind of holding it back. But again, I go back to what I've been grinding out now for the last 48 hours it's been available, and the 2 prequels, the new Hitman trilogy. And that game puts you into a world, and sandbox map, and they say, here's your targets. How you take care of these targets, that's up to you. Do you want to go in guns a-blazing? You can do it. Just escape alive. Or you can do the methodic, hey, I'm going to follow the clues, listen to people talk, I can poison something or drop something on their head or set a trap or know when they're going to sleep or when they're changing guards and I can pose as that guard. If they were to take that with Frank Castle, for example, like you kind of stroll into some high, New York stakes mob gathering, right? And you sort of have to find your way in there, listen out, and then you can kill everybody you want. But you can also do it the other way where you're like, so they're having dinner at 10. Well, if I position myself here, get the guns equipped, set up explosives, you could retrofit Hitman into a Punisher-style game. And if Naughty Dog was to do it, they have that sort of, they do the cinematic game better than anybody. Like, that's their thing. I think you could find something good there with Punisher and Ghost Rider. Like, they don't have to be open-world games on everything, but something like that I think would work.
Guys, please.
Yeah, no, I get sick of open world games. Like everything's open world, and Ubisoft's game for Star Wars, they're like, it's gonna be open world. I'm like, it's gonna be 200 hours of quest marks.
I say it's literally just gonna be Assassin's Creed, but with what are they making? Star Wars.
Star Wars game. That's all we know.
I was like, is it Marvel? Is it Star Wars? What was it? But yeah, I'm not looking forward to that Ubisoft game whatsoever. But I think with superhero games, they need to get away from this. It's all about the action.
Yeah.
Like how the old Punisher games used to be. It's like I think the Arkham series really well, obviously he did flip it on its head, and it's like, hey, no, look, you can make a good one. Mm-hmm. So don't try, like even the Spider-Man games, don't reinvent the wheel. Like the combat in the Spider-Man games are the same as every other Spider-Man game in existence.
Yep.
Like they've gone like, no, this is how this plays. This is how Spider-Man plays now. The story, on the other hand, like you focus on the plot. Like don't focus on the game. Like obviously the gameplay's got to be good and it's got to feel good as well. But focus on the plot. Make that the driving focus of the game. And don't do what Avengers done, where you try to be everything and then nothing at the same time.
No, that's a guaranteed success for failure. Like it's
just like that game could have worked fantastically. Did everything wrong.
And that's the thing with like Naughty Dog, right? You look at some of the things they tackled in The Last of Us 2, knowing full well the entire game development time that they would get backlash for their story idea and what they're playing. Punisher is a political character. If Naughty Dog wants to make a statement about corruption, government, dirty money, passing all this, and an innocent family caught in the middle of it, and this dude, what he's willing to go through in his mental psyche, Naughty Dog's the company you got to do that. Like they could push there, and I know there would be blowback. People being like, I don't get it. Why is the Punisher SJW now talking about politics and corruption and government? It's like, well, that's because you've only seen the god-awful Thomas Jane movie and you think he's supposed to be a cop, but he's not. So, it's...
So, you mean he's the Punisher?
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm excited by whatever ideas they can come up with many of these games, because it seems like they're ready to license them out to whoever has good pitches, and hopefully something lands somewhere good, because like Star Wars at EA was the worst decision ever, exclusively to EA. They canceled more games than they put out.
Then again, Star Wars at Ubisoft is just as dumb.
Oh yeah,
just as dumb.
Yeah,
there'll be some kind of sexual harassment case coming from.
Oh yeah, but the thing with Ubisoft pitched them, hey guys, I guarantee there was a demo of somebody running around in the Assassin's Creed world, and they modded in a lightsaber, and they said, hey guys, look at this. We can put out one of these every other year for the rest of eternity. Yeah. And they were like, how much do the Assassin's Creed games sell? 10 million units. Star Wars...
Not very much.
Right. It's like, it sells 10 million units? Okay, so that's better than 80% of games out there. You slap Star Wars on it, you're going to get 18 to 20 million units. Free money. Okay. Done. Like it's an easy conversation to see that they had, and it's safe, but at least it's not just EA video games, because god damn, I'm so sick of multiplayer only. Like
So I've got my multiplayer games thanks to EA. None of them are yours. That's cool.
Yep. I mean, Battlefield got so bad that it made me go back to Call of Duty, and I'm never going back to Battlefield. And I was a diehard Battlefield guy.
Duties.
So hey, Warzone, man. Warzone. That's where it's at. It's at. So yeah, if people have any ideas of what games they want from Marvel or Star Wars, comment below. Yes, you're getting Marvel Spider-Man 2. You don't need to comment that. We know you want it. That's what you're going to get. They understand you. They know you. You're the target demo. We're getting more of those. So,
I say, what either Star Wars and Marvel game would you want from? You could have them from any developer. Any property, any developer, any property you want. I'm gonna take out Punisher because you've just gone on about Punisher in the Hitman games. That's cheating.
Yeah. Let's see. I'd have to think kind of like it needs to be something that hasn't been done, because it's like I don't want just like another Spider-Man or something. I'd want something interesting. I would honestly want let's say Daredevil, done by, I don't want to say Insomniac, but Sucker Punch. There we go. Done by Sucker Punch, the guys that did they.
Ghost of Tsushima and all that.
Because look at how they did their games where you leap off of something, he does a smooth landing, the maps are great, the gameplay flows. They did Ghost of Tsushima, which is beautiful. They understand using color for visual cues. If Daredevil doesn't line up perfectly with what they can pull off, I don't know what the it's. You give us a section of Hell's Kitchen, just Hell's Kitchen, but go into it and don't do the rest of New York, but just make Hell's Kitchen dense. Like I'm talking about.
Yeah, make it like a 1-to-1.
Right. All the buildings you can go into, all the rooftops, crime, go into it and make it a smaller sandbox. And I think that would be, goddamn, that'd be like the perfect game, honestly. That's what I want, so.
See, I'd really like, it's a bit of an out there, but what I think would be really cool, just to shine a spotlight on the character, is get Guerrilla Games, who did Horizon, and make a Hawkeye game.
I like it already.
Now make a Hawkeye game.
Yes. Ooh.
Now it can be either Kate, it can be Clint, it can be both. And that's purely going off the fact that Horizon deals a lot with the bow.
Mm-hmm.
90% of the combat you're using the bow. Just do it.
It would work though. That's the thing. It would be a perfect match.
Mix a bit of Killzone in there with it as well, and you're sorted.
Mm-hmm.
Because that way you can really the Hawkeyes you haven't really got to focus on gameplay because I imagine bows are quite hard to make them feel good in the game, but at the same time I can imagine them being really easy.
Shockingly enough, the Avengers game with Kate Bishop actually made her probably one of the best, funnest characters to play.
Yeah, didn't they give her clones and stuff in that game? Isn't that what, decoys?
Yeah, she has weird technology.
That's weird. I'm not a fan of that. But just focus on even if you're gonna do a 1-to-1 diffraction run, but with your own little twist, just do that. Yeah, you can make a fantastic Hawkeye game, or even just make it like a Young Avengers game from Kate's perspective, and do it that way.
You would have to think Marvel and Star Wars get daily pitches for video games and turn them away for whatever reason.
Yeah.
What company in their right mind would not be like, hey, instead of making a new IP that might fail, why don't I just go with established Star Wars, Marvel, and get that IP, make a game, and do it? I don't understand why every year we're not getting 3 of each. It just doesn't make sense to me, but I guess that's a weird logistics.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, if you want to go really boring, just get Sony Santa Monica to make a Thor game.
Oh.
That was going to be my original answer, is that Santa Monica, Thor, done.
They literally just reskin Dad of Boy and done. Yep.
Perfect.
Literally don't need to do anything else. Just reskin that game and be like, here you go. And it's
just do the Jason Aaron run as well. That'd be a fantastic game.
True. I would.
The Santa Monica cinematics with a gore fight.
Oh god damn. Yup. All right. Well, I guess that's our picks. You guys let us know yours, and we'll see what.